There once was a stock that put to sea. The name of the stock was GME. The price blew up and the shorts dipped down. Hold my bully boys, hold. Soon may the tendy man come to send a rocket into the sun. One day when the trading is done, we'll take our gains and go. She had not been 2 weeks from shore when Ryan Cohen joined the board. The captain called all hands and swore he'll take his shares and hold. Soon may the tendy man come to send our rocket into the sun. One day when the trading is done, we'll take our gains and go. Before the news had hit the market, Wall Street bets came up and bought it. With diamond hands, they knew they'd profit if they could only hold. Soon may the tendy man come to send a rocket into the sun. One day when the trading is done, we'll take our gains and go. No deals were cut, no shorts were squeezed. The captain's mind was not on greed, but he belonged to the artist's creed. He took the risk to hold. Soon may the tendy man come to send a rocket into the sun. One day when the trading is done, we'll take our gains and go. For 40 days or even more, the stock went up, then down once more. All gains were lost, it was looking poor, but still those traders did hold. Soon may the tendy man come to send a rocket into the sun. One day when the trading is done, we'll take our gains and go. As far as I've heard, the fight's still on. The short's not squeezed and the gain's not won. The tendy man makes his regular call to encourage the captain, crew, and all. Soon may the tendy man come to send a rocket into the sun. One day when the trading is done, we'll take our gains and go. Soon may the tendy man come to send a rocket into the sun. One day when the trading is done, we'll take our gains and go. Oh, I bid farewell to my monthly paycheck, and I gambled it all on a GME bet. To hold with the boys and ignore calls to sell until we have given the hedgies all hell. And the tendies and diamonds are filling my mind. I'll search for the moon and pay losses no mind. I fear not the hedgie, I fear not his greed. I remember the hodlers, will they think of me when we make all our millions to spite the hedgie? Plot a course off to Mars from the orbit of Moon, to a place where my gains grew along with my crew. It's not about greed, no, I tell to my best, but sending a message to Wall Street the pest. As the words of their dread fill the space of my ears, they're crying like children, their saltiest tears. My heart fills with joy, then it's bigger than we. I remember the hodlers, will they think of me when we make all our millions to spite the hedgie? Oh, for sure they will learn that there is consequence for playing with markets for his needs and ends. But when Reddit investors used their tricks on them, they screamed and they shouted while we bought again. As the sights of their rage filled the space in my eyes, for they duped us, but they won't escape us this time. We're this far from winning, this far from their greed. I remember the hodlers, will they think of me when we make all our millions to spite the hedgie? Now that I'm staring down on the feds and the rich, I'm not sure what I want, but I don't think it's this. As my brothers stand in the raging typhoon, I hold on to my shares as they launch towards the moon. As the Tales of huddlers live forever in my mind, as I fulfill the dreams that they once tried to find. I look from the moon with the stars within reach. I remember Wall Street bets and they think of me, for our stocks with the moonshot forever will be. I remember the fallen and they think of me, for the hedges shall crumble and fall to their knees. If tomorrow all the gains were gone, I worked for all my life, and I had to start again with just my stimulus and wife. I thank my lucky stars to be trading here today, 'cause we all still hold our calls and shares, and they can't take that away. And I'm proud to be an artist, 'cause at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the paper hands who sold their GME, and I'd gladly stand up next to you and invest with no regrets, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this sport. Mods bless the Wall Street bets. From the floor in New York City to accounts on Fidelity, from the house of your wife's boyfriend, you just tried to make him see. From you deep fucking value and your own portfolio, where there's tendies in every artist's gut, and it's time we buy and hold. And I'm proud to be an artist, 'cause at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the paper hands who sold their GME, and I'd gladly stand up next to you and invest with no regrets, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this sport. Mods bless the Wall Street bets. And I'm proud to be an artist, 'cause at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the paper hands who sold their GME, and I'd gladly stand up next to you and invest with no regrets, 'cause there ain't no doubt I love this sport. Mods bless the Wall Street bets.
What's up, YouTube? How is everyone doing today? It is May 6th, 2021, Thursday. And today I'm coming to you live from Tendy Town. Kind of weird because, finished the day really strong. Wow, actually, everything is pretty green now, but you know what? I lost a lot of money today. And, apparently a lot of you guys did too. I was on the subreddit, everyone's just complaining. They're getting screwed. So I don't know what's going on here. This is a little confusing. So, all the major indexes are pretty green, but I'm looking at my watch list and it's a sea of red. So, not quite sure what's going on. Tech is getting slammed, growth is getting slammed, as usual. I guess the boomer stocks are doing pretty well. But we'll talk about all of it right here. So, thank you guys for joining me today. I'm Ty, and this is Smarter Gambling. So, what do we have today? Well, we're going to talk about a lot of stocks. A lot of earnings came out today, so we'll talk about some of the stocks that earnings came out for, and I'm going to talk about it live because a lot of them are coming out right now after market close. So we'll take a look at that. We'll take a look at Rocket, Viacom, Fiverr, Peloton, AMC, Square, Beyond Meat, and Roku. Those all had earnings today. And then we'll talk about some more stocks that could be a potential good buying opportunity, including Palantir, Etsy, DraftKings, and Uber. And then, if we have time, we'll get to the YOLOs. And I also got some news, some quick news regarding one article about Kathy Wood and another one about Joe Biden. So a lot to get to today. So let's get right into it. Let's do it, guys. Oh, and before we begin, please like the video. Please subscribe, and if you enjoy my content and want to support my channel, please check out my Patreon. And just a reminder, I am giving away this Xbox Series S. The contest ends tomorrow on Friday, so one more day if you want to enter the contest. I'm going to put the link in the description down below. All right, guys, let's do it. Boom. All right. So, yeah, Dow Jones is up 0.92%, NASDAQ is up 0.82%, and the S&P is up 0.81%. So, like I said, overall, it looks like a really good day, huh? Especially in the end of the day, there was a pretty big rally. So let's take a look here. We got Apple up 1.28%, very nice. Still not over 135, still waiting for that day. Airbnb is down 5.35%. We got AMC down 1.85%, and we will talk about that because they got earnings. AMD is up 0.80%, so pretty sideways. Beyond Meat, we'll talk about that. That is down 2.08%. Clover, that is down 6.9%. Ha! Nice number. Coinbase is down 5.95%. Got Corsair down 3.6%. DoorDash down 4.38%. DraftKings, wow, DraftKings took a beating today, huh? That's down 7.64%. We'll talk about that in just a second. Etsy, that is down 14.57%. Very nasty, very nasty. Sorry to everyone who had Etsy and DraftKings. We got Fubo down 5.17%. Fiverr down 2.22%. Look at that. GME finishes up almost 1%. It was down, it was in the red most of the day. What else we got here? I'm just gonna skip over most things because I want to save. I want to get to, as much as I can. So, Mind Medicine That's up 1.79%. Microvision is down 3.31%, still pulling back. Wow. It's down to $14, and it's pulling even more back in the after hours. Neo is down 2.73%. I will take it. Earlier, I believe it was down like pushing 5% or something. So, I mean, better than nothing. Ocugen is down 12.19%, continuing to pull back as I predicted. Palantir finishes down 5%. Pretty nasty, but it was down more earlier today, so I guess it's not the worst in the world. But man, Palantir, you got to do something. This is crazy. Plug Power, that's down 7.12%. Peloton is recovering today. Wow, it's going up after hours. That's probably because it had earnings. So maybe good earnings? Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I didn't see it yet, but we'll talk about that. But it's up 1.4% and climbing. I'm watching it climb live, so I'm guessing good earnings. We'll see. Rocket, that's down 16.62%. They reported yesterday. It pulled back pretty hard after hours and continues to sell off today. So, pretty nasty. We'll talk about that. Sorry to everyone who loaded the boat in anticipation for earnings. Sundial Growers, that's down 8.59%. Ouch. Square is down 3.4% and pulling back after hours, probably because of earnings. Don't know if it was good or bad. I think it's good, but we'll see. Tilray is down 11%, so cannabis is getting slammed today. Tesla down 1.1%. What else? Uber down 8.85%. It was down like 10% earlier, so a little bit of a recovery. Viacom reported in the morning. Smashed it, absolutely smashed it. And what happens? Down 2.34%. What is the world coming to? Vaxart down 6.1%. Okay. Let's take a look at the dollar very quickly. Yeah, not good, not good. Dollar is down to every major currency pair except the pound. So, not good for the dollar. Oops. And let's quickly take a look at crypto. Alright, so Bitcoin's down about 2%. Binance down 3%. Doge down almost 3%. XRP up 1.6%. Cardano up 6.7%. Wow, Bitcoin Cash. It's moving up. Probably because no one wants to pay those crazy Bitcoin fees. That's up 6.9%. Litecoin is down 7.6%. Chainlink down 4%. Wow, Ether Classic up 52% today. Crazy. And that's up 322% for the week. Who's buying Ether Classic, man? That's crazy. Yeah, we got Neo up 9.5%, Monero up 2.8%. So, pretty good day for crypto. Overall, it was kind of sideways, some up, some down, but crypto is continuing its nice run here. Okay, and let's just go over some news, and then we'll get into the earnings. Okay, so this first article is about Kathy Wood and Arc K, Arc Innovation. I believe that's Arc K. It says Kathy Wood's Arc Innovation ETF is down 10% this week, nearing new low for the year. Key point, shares of Arc Innovation are down another 3% on Thursday, bringing its weekly losses to nearly 10%. Nearly $770 million of flows have left Arc Innovation in the last week. Arc Invest, including its 5 core ETFs, have lost about $1.1 billion in investor dollars in the past 7 days, according to FactSet. Arc Innovation bought DraftKings, Twilio, Teladoc Health, and Invitae on Wednesday. So DraftKings got slammed today. Wow. Arc Generation Internet ETF purchased 140,000 shares of Peloton on Wednesday after it fell about 15% due to its treadmill recall debacle. So that was a good idea. So, last year, Kathy Wood was a hero. Everyone loved her. She was guessing right on everything. And seems like this year, she hasn't been correct too much. And people are starting to get kind of upset with her. I'm not personally in any ARC ETFs, but I do own some of the stocks in those ETFs. A lot of tech. So, interesting stuff here. And there's a lot of people on CNBC and Wall Street that are bashing Kathy Wood. I think Kramer doesn't really like her much. But, yeah, so ARC is not doing so hot. So, sorry to everyone who has ARC. Just hang in there. HODL. Diamond hands. Not financial advice. Diamond hands.
With diamond hands, they knew they'd profit if they could only hold.
Okay. Now let's get to some Biden news. Biden open to 25% corporate tax rate as part of infrastructure bill compromise. Key points. President Joe Biden says he wants to see corporate tax rate. President Joe Biden says he wants to see a corporate tax rate between 25 and 28%. The 25% rate was the most concrete outline Biden has offered so far as a potential compromise he would make to fund his major infrastructure bill. The 25% rate has already been endorsed by West Virginia Democrat Senator Joe Manchin, whose vote Democrats will need if the infrastructure bill is to have any chance of becoming law. Okay, so if you guys recall, I think 2 weeks ago, either last week or 2 weeks ago, Biden out of nowhere was like, I want to double the income tax, the capital gains tax on the wealthy, and from 20% to like 40%. And the market did not react well to that. Everything just dumped. And but in reality, 40% wasn't. No one. That wasn't realistic. But you have to start from somewhere as you negotiate. So this is more realistic, 25%. And I believe the rate right now is 21%. So 4% increase. Market doesn't like taxes. But we'll see if this becomes law or where this goes. But, Biden is trying to raise taxes on a lot of people, a lot of companies, and you got to pay for everything some way, so this is his way for paying at things. So we'll see how this story develops. Okay. Now let's get to the earnings. So what is first? All right, let's talk about Rocket first. So yeah, Rocket is down 16.62% today. Yep, sorry to everyone who had Rocket. But this creates a great buying opportunity. So basically for a lot of these stocks I'm about to talk about, I'm going to talk about why they are good buying opportunities. A lot of these got slammed today. And I'm going to show you guys the financials. Not whole DDs, but we're just going to go over financials. And I'm going to give my opinion on if you should buy some of these companies. Move this. So, here is Rocket. Let me zoom in. Now, this is interesting because there's a gap down here from, let's just say 2250 down to about 20. But the point is that there's a gap down. And if you guys have been listening to me, I always say that when there's a gap, it's likely to fill. And that's been proven over and over again. So at this gap down of 2250, I expect at some point that this will come back up to 2250. Now, I can't say when, maybe a couple of days or a couple of weeks or even a couple of months, but at some point, this is likely to come back to 2250. And if we look at the RSI down here, and if you guys have been watching me, I always say, everyone should be using the RSI because it's a very simple tool and very effective tool. So the current RSI is sitting at around 29. And anything below 30 means that the stock is undervalued and oversold. So this could be a very good time to get in and take a position and buy the dip, right? As a wise man once said, here's my meme. Buy the effing dip. Now, it may pull back a little more. May come back to this next level of support at like 1830, around there. And if it does, I think that's a really good time to buy. And in addition to this chart, let's go over the earnings real quick. So this is just to show a glimpse of how these companies are doing financially. So these are the Rocket earnings. Let me move this. So we can see, for the most part, Rocket is doing pretty well. It missed sometimes on EPS and revenue, but for the most part, it's been beating, especially in the last couple of years. I don't think it updated yesterday's earnings, but yeah, it's been beating EPS, it's been beating revenue. So and everyone sees Rocket commercials all the time, advertisements everywhere. So it's a legitimate company. It's a good legitimate company, I would say. It's a mortgage company. Come on, financing company. So I would tell everyone who is bullish on Rocket, and I know there's a lot of people. It's been the most popular stock the last 2 days. This could be a good time to buy in. At $19, you can put a buy order in here. That'd be a really good price, but this might pull back a little more to like $18.30. So I'm not gonna make a play on Rocket, but if I were to, I would put some buy orders in at 1830. So good buying opportunity here. Let's move on to Viacom. Might have to mute in a second. I hear a siren. Yeah, give me 1 second, guys. My apologies. Alright, my apologies. So this is Viacom. Full disclosure, I do have a position in this stock. And earnings was this morning. We see right here. Estimated was $1.21, and the actual was $1.52. So smashed the EPS. It doesn't say the revenues, but it smashed the revenues too. And what happens? Stock is down 2.43%. Makes sense, yeah. That's typically what happens. Good earnings, stock goes down. Bad earnings, stock goes up. I don't know. But anyway, so, I mean, this has been a great buy all along ever since the Archegos saga. And, I mean, on the RSI, it was climbing up. Let me move my head. You know, it was below 30, and there was some buying. It went up to like 40. And now the RSI is back down to like 31.5. So, if you missed Viacom before, now is maybe a good time to get in. At $38, fantastic price, in my personal opinion, and a lot of other personal opinions. There's a lot of people on the subreddit talking about buy Viacom, and I would have to agree. Let's take a look at the financials. So here is the Viacom financials, and we see pretty strong financials. For the most part, beating EPS and beating revenue for the most part. I guess in 2019 it struggled a little bit, but in 2020 it's been absolutely killing it. Aside from what is this? Q4 2019. So yeah, everything 2020, Viacom has been smashing it, including today. So this company is doing extremely well financially. And quite honestly, this is like the one stock that the apes and the boomers can agree on, that this is a good buy, a good stock and a good buy, and everyone agrees that this is undervalued right now. So if you'd like to get into Viacom, this is a very good time to get into Viacom. Great buying opportunity here. What's next? All right, let's talk about Fiverr. So now we're getting into the stocks that this is the first time I'm going to see the earnings. So let's see what's up. All right, so Fiverr. Actually, no, this also came out this morning. So the estimated earnings was negative 23 cents, and the actual was negative 1 cent. So it did beat earnings, but still negative, and stock went down as a result of the earnings today. But again, if you see the RSI down here, the current RSI is sitting at like 29.5. So it's under 30, and this indicates that this is a good time to buy. Now let's look at the financials. Okay, here we go. All right, so for Fiverr, earnings not so good. It looks like it's been missing. Well, it's been missing EPS, but it's been beating revenue. And I mean, it's only been beating this year. You know, last year at 2020 and 2019, it's been missing a lot, but it seems like in late 2020 and 2021, the EPS has been beating, and the revenues has been beating. So you could argue if Fiverr is a good company or not. I mean, I personally like the platform itself. So if you're bullish Fiverr, this would be a good opportunity to buy. But there are a lot of bears on Fiverr. It hasn't exactly proven itself. Hasn't proven itself financially just yet. So good opportunity to buy if you're a bull. If you're a bear, then just hold off or don't buy at all. Okay. Now we're going to get into the live earnings. This is the first time I'm going to see this stuff. So let's talk about Peloton. Wow. Wow, okay. Well, so yesterday Peloton got slammed from the bad news of the treadmills being recalled. I did a video on that yesterday. Go check that out if you guys want. And today was the earnings. So it was up 1.4% today, and it appears that in the after hours this thing is getting slammed. It's pulling back to $80 right now, and it doesn't say what the earnings are. Let me see if I could find that. Okay. So it says there were losses of $8.6 million or 3 cents a share. But that's up from a loss of $20 a share a year ago. I mean, sales doubled from 525 million to 1.26 billion from a year ago. So analysts expected a profit of 20 cents a share and revenue of 1.12 billion. So it beat on the revenue, but it missed huge on the EPS. So yeah, that's very, very disappointing. It says this was very unexpected. I think everyone was expecting good earnings because historically it's been it's had some pretty good earnings. I did a whole DD, well, not a whole DD, but a quick DD on Peloton yesterday. So I'm not gonna go in the financials. I already did that. But yesterday I showed this was a very strong company financially, and I said there might be some more pullback, and it appears that's what's happening. So yesterday I said this is a great buy at, I think it was like $82 or $83. And now look at that. Now it's pulling back below $80. Wow. It just hit 79.80. 79.70. Wow, incredible. So, yeah. This looks like a great buying opportunity. I think at 72.50, I said this yesterday, if it goes back to 72.50, that looks like a most definite buy. Right now, it's trading in the middle of this channel here, this rectangle. I think if you want to get into Peloton, just hold off a little longer. I think it may have a little bit more room to pull back, but at these prices, this is looking real juicy, so this is a great opportunity here. Okay, so yeah, in summary, very disappointing Peloton earnings, but overall, Peloton is a strong fundamental company, and if you want to get in, this would be a great opportunity. Now let's move on to AMC. Okay, what's going on with AMC? Let's see here. Okay. AMC reported quarterly losses of $1.42 per share, which missed the analyst consensus of $1.26 by 12.7%. This is a 36% increase over losses of $2.22 per share from the same period last year. All right, so very bad earnings for AMC. I know there's a lot of AMC bulls that expected some crazy earnings. This is not good, but it seems like the market is not reacting to this at all. Stock price is the same after hours. And I guess this was kind of expected because of the whole pandemic, so they weren't making money. But a lot of people were expecting some good earnings from this. Didn't get it. But it seems like the market isn't reacting. So maybe this was kind of expected. Let's take a look at the earnings, the historical earnings. Okay. So, I mean, there's mixed results here. I would say like half misses on the revenue and half misses on EPS. It missed on EPS a bunch of times, or like it was pretty close to the estimated. So this is debatable. I guess not the strongest financials, but not bad financials for AMC. You could just take a look right here. Oops. So, um, yeah, I wouldn't call this a buying opportunity. There isn't like real pullback in this one. Um, but a lot of people are bullish on AMC. I wouldn't buy this one just yet. I would hold off a little bit more. There might be more selling to go. The RSI is not under 30, so this is average. It's not overbought or oversold. It's right where it needs to be. So, I would say hold this one. If you guys have this one, just hold. If you guys are looking to get in, hold off for now. This could possibly pull back some more. But I would say AMC is an okay company financially. It's debatable. I'm not so bullish on it like some other people are. And I wouldn't buy it. But if you're looking to buy this, I would say don't do it yet. Just hold off a little bit. So, in summary, disappointing AMC earnings. But the market is not really reacting to it. In fact, it's going up a little bit. So you see what I mean? Bad earnings, stock goes up. Good earnings, stock goes down. Makes absolutely no sense. Okay. What's next? Square. Okay. Wow. Very, very good earnings for Square. Let me see if I can get this. Okay, so what's the quarterly revenue? Well, don't know what the revenue is, or maybe I should read this. Well, the estimated EPS was -4 cents, and the actual was 41 cents. So Square had very, very good earnings, unexpected and very good earnings. And the market is reacting to this after hours. It's up $4. Yeah, it's up $4 after hours. So the market likes this. This was a surprise for Square. So let's take a look at the financials, historical financials. All right, here is the financials for Square. I mean, this looks pretty good. Well, for the most part, it's been beating EPS and revenues. It seems like it's always beating on the revenues, but sometimes it missed on the EPS. But overall, this seems like a very strong company financially. And we see that today. Surprise earnings. So, is this a good buying opportunity? Well, the RSI is at 37, probably a little bit higher now, since it's going up in the after hours. But it's on the lower end of the RSI, so I guess you could start to think about it here. I would say hold off a little bit longer. This could come back down to 200. If this comes back down to 200, I would say that's definitely a buy. This is a very good company. It's not going anywhere. Strong financials. No, it has Cash App. So, so that's what I would do. I think Square is a buy. Maybe not at this price, but hold off a little longer. If this goes down to 200, if it dips below an RSI of 30, this would definitely be a buy for me. Okay. Now we got Beyond Meat. What's going on with Beyond Meat? Okay, so disappointing, very disappointing earnings for Beyond Meat. It lost 27.3 million or 43 cents a share. What is where's the numbers? Well, yeah. Not exactly sure what the EPS and the revenue were, but this news says that it was a major miss, major unexpected miss, and we can see the market reacting to this. So it closed at 119, and it's currently at 112. Let's call it 113. So it closed at 119, and in aftermarket, it's down to 113. So that is about 8% down in the aftermarket for Beyond Meat. Now, before this aftermarket sell-off, the RSI was sitting at 29.3. So it's even lower than that now. And let's take a look at the financials. Let's see how well they're doing financially. All right, here we are. So, for the most part, it seems like a pretty strong company financially. It missed a couple times on the EPS. But most of the time, it hit on the earnings. So, I would say this company is pretty strong financially. Not very strong, but pretty strong. So, what is it now? So at this price, at 112.50, that looks like a buy. That looks like a buy, honestly. It broke through the this support of 118.50, and it's continuing to go down. It's almost at a low. It's almost at its yearly low of 110. So interesting. If this goes back to 110, I would say that's a buy. I would say that's a buy. This is a good opportunity here. So that's what I would do here. I'm not going to personally touch this one, but I would say if this comes back to 110, if you're bullish on Beyond Meat, go for it. This would be a very good buying opportunity for Beyond Meat. All right, what's next? Roku. Roku. Well, it says here the estimated was negative 27 cents and the actual was negative 42 cents. So, yeah, very, very big miss there. Very disappointing. All right, Roku. All right, so it says here, Roku, estimated earnings was negative 12 cents and actual was 54 cents. So that's a huge beat, actually. Wow. Huge beat. Very surprising. Roku finished at $284 today, and in the aftermarket, it's up to $304. So the market is having a very positive reaction to the surprise earnings. At the time of closing, the RSI was sitting at about 27. So, I mean, it's probably over 30 now, but this could be a good buying opportunity. Let's see the financials. All right, so the financials look pretty decent. There were some big misses and some big surprises, but the revenue seems to always beat. So I would say that overall Roku is pretty decently in pretty decent shape financially. Pretty good finances. So I would say if you want to get into Roku, I mean, I think you missed the bottom at this point. The bottom would have been buying right before market close. Who knows? This might come back, but damn ambulance. Excuse me 1 second, guys. So if you guys want to buy Roku, I guess at $305, it's not a bad price. This may have bottomed out. The bottom may have been today at closing. This jumped up pretty high after hours. Probably like 7-8%. So after hours, this is back up to finished higher than what it closed at or what it opened at for the day. So this one is debatable. You can argue that $305 is a good price. I would say it's a decent price. It's still on the lower spectrum of the RSI. So at 305, I could say this is a pretty decent buying opportunity. Not the greatest, but pretty decent. So if you guys want to get into Roku, This is a pretty good opportunity here. Not the best, but pretty good. Okay. Now that is it for the earnings stocks, the big earnings stocks today, and I'm just going to talk about some other stocks that didn't have earnings but pulled back significantly today, which could be great buying opportunities. So let's talk about Palantir. This is a popular stock. A lot of apes like Palantir. I have Palantir, full disclosure. So, this finishes around $20 today. Pretty nasty. But this is... It just broke through a line of support of about 21. Now, the RSI is sitting at 33, so not quite in oversold territory yet, but it's quickly approaching that. So, if you guys want to load up on Palantir, this might be a good time to do it. Let's take a look at the financials, but I don't think there are many. What's going on here? Okay. So there's really not too much to go off of right here. There's only been two earnings reports so far. Another one coming up next week. But so far, the earnings have been pretty good. They beat EPS and revenue both times, so you would expect the same in the future. So, not a large sample size to base to base the financial health of Palantir off of, but it seems like they're doing fine financially. It seems like they're doing pretty well. So, this may pull back a little more, but I would say, yeah, at $20, this looks like a pretty good buy here. I would say, yeah, $20, you could argue this is a really good buy. And if it pulls back even more, then if this pulls back to 16, then I would say definitely buy this. But at $20, this is a pretty decent buy. May pull back a little more, but I don't think you can really go wrong at $20. So I would say yes, this is a good opportunity to get into Palantir if you want to. If you want to load the boat on Palantir, go for it. And then we got Etsy. Let's talk about Etsy. Okay, this is interesting. So Etsy was down 14.57% today. So let's take a look. Now, right off the bat, I can see a gap. So there's a gap down from about 181 down to 170. So that means at some point, this is likely to come back up to 181. I can't say when, but maybe in the next couple of days, next couple of weeks, next couple of months. Eventually, this is likely to come back up to 181. And the RSI down here, RSI is sitting at around 24. So this is pretty oversold right now and pretty undervalued. And um, even without looking at the financials, I would say this is pretty good buy here. Um, I didn't draw the lines of resistance and support, but this is you can argue that this is a very good buy here. Let's take a look at the financials. All right, here are the Etsy financials. Yeah, this is pretty solid. Um, they beat the revenue every time, and they only missed EPS one time. So this looks like a very good. Etsy looks like they're doing very well financially, and the stock is undervalued right now. So yeah, at this price at 158, this looks like a very, very good buy here for Etsy. Um, Not personally going to touch it, but this looks like a great buying opportunity. Whether if you want to go long or if you just want to swing trade this, I think at this price and with the gap here, Etsy, this is a great buying opportunity here. Okay. Now let's do DraftKings. All right, so here is DraftKings. Today it's down 7.64%, so pretty big hit there. The RSI is sitting at around 33, so it's not quite oversold yet, but it's approaching that. I would say that if this comes down to 49, that would be the next line of support, and that would be a good time to enter. If this did come down to 49, then the RSI would probably drop below 30, and then that would confirm that this at that point that DraftKings would be oversold and undervalued. Let's take a look at the financials. So, not too much to go off of, but I mean, so far it's been very impressive. It missed the EPS on its first earnings ever, and it missed the revenue on its first earnings ever, but the next three has been very impressive. It beat by a lot on the revenues and the EPS on the other 3 quarters. So, again, not too much to go off of here, but it looks like DraftKings is pretty strong financially. So, yeah, I would say if this comes back down to 49, that would be an excellent, excellent buy. And if it came back down to 44, that would be a definite buy. So I know there's a lot of DraftKings bulls out there, and this is looking really, really juicy right now. So maybe not quite yet, but keep an eye on this. This looks like this could be a great buying opportunity. Yeah, so that's DraftKings. All right, let's do plug. All right, so here's Plug Power, and quite honestly, I don't know too much about this stock, but it is a meme stock, and I know there are a lot of bulls for this. So today this was down 7.12%, and the RSI is currently sitting at 31. So again, not quite there yet, not quite in the undervalued, oversold territory, but very close to that. Let's take a look at the financials. All right, here are the financials for Plug. So this looks like it has pretty decent financials. It beat on revenue most of the time, and EPS, it was it either just missed EPS, or, well, there's a few slight misses on the EPS, a few slight beats on the EPS, and there's a few big misses. So overall, I would say that Plug is in pretty decent shape financially. Not the best, but it's pretty good. So at 22.50, you can argue that this is a really good price to get into Plug. Maybe a good idea to hold off a little longer, but for all you Plug bulls, this is arguably a really good opportunity. It might pull back a little bit more, but probably not too much. So, yes, great buying opportunity for Plug here. Let's do, what's next? Let's do Tilray. Alright, so here's Tilray. It's down 11% today. So the RSI is sitting at around 33. So again, not quite oversold and undervalued yet, but approaching that. Let's take a look at the financials. All right, here are the Tilray financials. Honestly, this looks pretty strong. I didn't know Tilray was this well off financially. Well, it did really well up to last year, and in the last 2 quarters, it did miss by a lot on the EPS, and but earnings is coming up next week. So overall, pretty good shape financially for Tilray, and I know there's a lot of Tilray bulls on the subreddit, So at $14, you could argue very good buy for Tilray. It looks like it could pull back a little bit more, but probably not too much. So I would say, yeah, at $14, you can make a strong argument that it would be a pretty good buy here. So, yes, good buying opportunity for Tilray here. And let's do Uber. I think that's the last one. Okay, so here's Uber. It's down about 9% today. And the RSI is currently sitting at 27. So this is in oversold and undervalued territory. Let's take a look at the financials. So, yeah, the financials are all right. I would say not the best, but not bad. There's decent financials. It missed a few times and it beat a few times. You can see for yourself right here. So overall, I would say Uber is in okay financial shape. Not great, not bad. So if you do believe in Uber, if you are bullish on Uber, I'm not, but you could argue at this price, this is a good buy. At 47, yeah, you could argue this is a good buy. I would say at 45, that would be a pretty good buy. I think this could pull back a little bit more. So if you are bullish on Uber, I would say at 45, that would be a great buying opportunity. Okay. So it's like 5:10 right now, and I still have YOLOs, but I think I'm just gonna end the show here. The YOLOs weren't all that today. So, all right. So, not the most entertaining show today, but I hope you guys found the information that I gave you to be very helpful. A lot of selling off today, but you got to buy the dip. That's how we make money here. So, showed you guys a lot of stocks, a lot of great buying opportunities, a lot of popular meme stocks. So, I hope you guys can capitalize on some of this. Thank you guys for watching today. I appreciate it. I appreciate you guys. Please like the video. Please subscribe. And if you enjoy my content and want to support my channel, please check out my Patreon. And just a reminder, I'm giving away this Xbox Series S. Contest ends tomorrow. If you want to enter the contest, I will link the video down in the description below. You apes already know, diamond hands to the moon, not financial advice. I'm Ty. This is Smarter Gambling. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.
My mother told me, someday I will buy rockets with doubloons off to distant moons. Shoot up past the stars, noble ship I steer, steady course to the haven. Hold, brothers, hold, then hold, sisters, hold then. My mother told me someday I will buy rockets with doubloons off to distant moons. Shoot up past the stars, noble ship I steer, steady course to the haven. Hold, brothers, hold, then hold, sisters, hold then. My mother told me someday I will buy rockets with doubloons off to distant moons. Shoot up past the stars, noble ship I steer, steady course to the haven. Hold, brothers, hold, then hold, sisters, hold then. My mother told me someday I will buy rockets with doubloons off to distant moons. Shoot up past the stars, noble ship I steer, steady course to the haven. Hold, brothers, hold, then hold, sisters, hold then.